There are conspiracy theories pretty much about every subject now, and we have all seen how easily and quickly they spread on the internet. Now, a new poll highlights the real-life consequences of these lies. It says that most Americans have been exposed to false claims about the measles vaccine and autism, and they're now unsure what to believe. The poll also found that Republicans and independents were more likely to believe them than Democrats were. Our nightcap is still here. Sam, at this point, we have gotten to a place where conspiracy theories are almost normalized, and it's happening along party lines. Why is this happening? Where are we going?
It's not almost normalized. I would argue it is normalized. I think when you have, as the director of HHS, someone who made his name pushing vaccine conspiracies, when you have Donald Trump, who really rose to political prominence as someone who spread the birther conspiracy, right? When you have Senator Ron Johnson this week saying he wanted to investigate whether 9/11 was actually an inside job, you have actual people of real power and consequence who are the purveyors of this and are, frankly, rewarded politically for it. How did it happen? I mean, there's a whole host of reasons why. But obviously, a lot of it is that the guardrails for information have been completely lessened. People can get stuff on the internet. They don't trust the media as an arbiter of truth. And so they go to random websites and they spend a lot of time online and they get their brains fried. But when there's no consequence for pushing this stuff, when you see people elevated, in fact, because they're conspiracists, it doesn't really bode well for where we are.
Yeah, and I mean, look at these recent releases of files, right? The JFK files and the Jeffrey Epstein files. These were supposed to prove certain conspiracy theories existed. And when they didn't, did that throw everyone off and say, oh, these things didn't really happen? No, they just said, well, they didn't release all the files or enough files. You can never disprove the conspiracy theory because there's always something else hidden about it. And that's like the evil truth of them, and that's why they're hard to shoot down.
Then what will stop this?
You know, I don't know. And it doesn't help that social media amplifies it, right? That you can't go online without seeing this stuff sort of thrown at you all the time. And, you know, I know you circulated that, was it a Instagram reel of a woman talking about how there's no constituency for, like, get your kid vaccinated. Like, that's not hot online, but vaccines are going to give your kid autism is spreading online.
Okay, that's exactly what I want to talk about, because vaccines are the perfect example. People who get their kids vaccinated aren't in pro-vaccine groups. They just go and get their kids vaccinated.
It's like tying your shoe. You're not going to talk about tying your shoe.
And then they go on with their day. People who are on the fringe other side are much more outspoken, become much more high profile, and when they are, the algorithm amplifies them, right? So nobody's going to say, I woke up, I took my vitamins, blah, 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 because that's normal life. Right. But people who are living outside, that now becomes, the thing to focus on.
Social media is a huge reason for the spread of the conspiracy theory. But I would say the elected politicians who have now been put into office who are elevating the conspiracy theories, that's why it's gone from something that would be considered a fringe to now in the mainstream. I remember when, saying 9/11 was an inside job would have been a disqualifying thing to run for office. And you have Ron Johnson, a senator from Wisconsin, who's the chair of a powerful subcommittee, now saying he's going to hold hearings about this debunked conspiracy theory about 9/11. Marjorie Taylor Greene, another example. She once questioned whether even 9/11 happened. She was stripped of her committee assignments by Democrats and even some Republicans when she first came to office. Now she holds a chair gavel.
To this point, I remember maybe 6-7 years ago, I was working in a newsroom, and RFK Jr. said something wildly inappropriate and non-scientific about vaccines. We had an internal discussion about whether we should cover it, and the thinking was we shouldn't. And we shouldn't cover it because you didn't want to give voice to the conspiracists. You didn't want to present it to an audience as if it was a legitimate part of the debate. You can't do that now. And the reason you can't do that now is because he runs the Department of Health and Human Services. You can't just not cover what he says. And so, yes, social media does play a role. And yes, these people getting into power certainly amplifies it and makes it worse because we can't not cover them. We have to present what they're saying. You can knock it down, you can correct it, you can present all the factual information. But they're out there and they have their own platforms and they have their own megaphones.
And let's remember that people stormed the Capitol based on a conspiracy theory, right? That the election was stolen, that Italian satellites changed votes, that China was flipping ballots.
Yeah,
I mean, and the president at the time was pushing all this stuff and ramming people up. And and Republican congresspeople were going along with it.
Including Ron Johnson.
Including Ron
Which is a
Johnson.
big elector plot, right?
And nobody wanted to shoot it down. And I remember Mitt Romney giving a speech, I think it was that night on the floor, where he said, it's our job to tell people the truth, to tell them that this stuff is lies. And if we as senators and elected officials don't stand up and end these conspiracy theories with our stature, then no one else will. And, now he's out of politics.
Okay, and if there really ends up being, led by Ron Johnson, a real investigation into was 9/11 an inside job, does that not spark George Bush to stand up and say enough is enough?
I mean, you would think so, right? But it's not, to Luke's point, it's like you can't satisfy the conspiracists because ultimately when you present evidence that disproves their conspiracy, they end up concocting an entire new conspiracy. So it's like, oh, there's, a deep state force that really suppressed the real, Jeffrey Epstein files, right? Or, in this case, like the Bushites, were in the State Department, they hid all the stuff from Ron Johnson. So there's always going to be another level of conspiracy that you can add on to this. So frankly, I was talking to someone about how do you help someone break out of this? And it's a very sobering answer. The answer is you try to divert their attention to something else entirely. You don't disabuse them of their conspiracy. You just move them onto a different subject. And that's really actually shocking and sad. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't like that one. Thank you, thank you, thank you.